What's up, people? And I'm back. Yeah, as I said earlier in my previous video, is that I'll be back talking about the Ivan Toney interview, and it's definitely right that we had waited for his return. And in the mainstream, I'm happy that I got a chance to view that video, uh, and it's definitely a good one, and I liked it solely because it was informative and definitely something to. There's a lot to learn from what these footballers also go through, and it's just one that has been shed light on, and there are definitely more that have come and gone, and there are others who are also retired and still going through the same scourge. And just to shed some light on that, is that definitely in our African, I'll centralize it on the African communities, that there's a lot of this scourge. It's taking a lot of youth, especially with the unemployment and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not here as a therapist. I'm just here to talk about the Ivan Toney interview and shed some light on some key points about what he has undergone and everything that he has learned also on his 8-month ban. He'll definitely be back next month training with the first team, as he has just shed light on that interview. I never knew that. And he'll be back playing regular football with the team Brentford in February. I think he said in February, yeah. And yeah, I've seen his portfolio and all the teams that he has played for that I never knew, and yeah, definitely risks of never give up, and whatever chance that you get, just utilize that chance to make to make yourself better, to make other people close to you better, and his story is definitely something to look forward to. And if you haven't really watched that interview, you can go back there, and I'll just be reacting to that video and trying to say a few things, because I never knew that Ivan Toney has played for Scunthorpe North End or something. It's a League Two or a lower league in the English football. Peterborough, Newcastle, and now he's playing for Brentford. And maybe another one team that I've missed out on because I was taking some notes to try and see exactly how I'd get the real reaction. And this is one of my first reaction videos, so you'll be getting more of that on this channel. Definitely, footballing matters only, and not just some banter you'll definitely get, but not just some lifestyle and whatnot. So yeah, a few key pointers that he himself, Ivan Toney, has gotten to realize, I think, because the guy has started his footballing career from a very young and tender age. At 15, he had already started and gotten into some teams. He was at started at was it Newcastle, I think, and then he was released. He went to Scunthorpe, he went to Peterborough, was back to Newcastle, and then Brentford definitely picked him up from the lower league to the championship. Hit bare goals out there, and then they got promoted, and he's in the top flight right now. And this is his story. He has a very good story. International career is also not too bad, because he hasn't played much for England, and he definitely has that urge to be better and to be the main man, which is good for a footballer in your team, and that is why Brentford are definitely successful under Thomas Frank. And yeah, the gambling addiction and I don't know how to put it, yeah, betting breaches. Yeah, I think it's something that the footballers are usually on. I don't know if they are told, but it looks like they're never told. So when he breached some of those rules. He had to be let known under the, but it's definitely right that, as he has put it, I don't know if he was sugar coating or and whatnot, but he's definitely a professional and a cool-headed guy. He just said even the Brentford management informed him that the FA will try and investigate, so he should not do this and that, and he didn't do that. So they did the investigations. They got a few breaches and whatnot. They informed him of their decision, and that is why he's on the sidelines and can't play or train with the first team. But yeah, definitely gambling is wrong. It's something that many, and I centralized it to the African community in my country. It's something that has, they try to limit it by doing this and that, but it's definitely something that hits and hits hard in African homes and also personal growth. There is some stagnation. There's a It's a major struggle for definitely many people, and people surely have their own stories and but the things that they are told you can't bet on football, and it's like a chain reaction. When you say you can't bet on football, it doesn't mean that you can actually now bet on, I don't know, American football or tennis or whatnot. It's a chain reaction that gets you into that groove to, still need some. And when you lose, you try to replicate it by, I'll, if I have to win next, I have to do this and that. And it's a scourge. You never win against the house. That is the rule of the house. And if the house wins it all, then who are you to put your money where your mouth isn't? So yeah, and he definitely got some help from this guy Philip Hopley, who is an expert in these things. He's a therapist, and he has seen and known a few things that he never knew about, like an addiction in gambling. There's he got which actually reduced his sentence. He could have been banned for a longer period, but got an 8-month ban. Such things have also costed him from representing his international team in the World Cup, which he's definitely not happy about and whatnot. But the Gareth Southgate, his international manager, has been definitely with him all through the way, trying to tell him to be positive, to keep a cool head, and but this is definitely something they call an impulsive compulsive disorder. That these are some technical health related terms I never knew about, but it makes sense because if every addiction, every addict out there struggling with whatnots, you you usually try to get to that point when you're like, I can do away with this when I want to, but that it's impulsive and compulsive. You say, I'll still, it's something I think that addicts usually go through, and you usually don't allow yourself to believe that you can stop this or whatnot, or I can stop it whenever I want. But when you're 50-50, you feel like you can stop, but then it just comes back because it keeps you going. It's like a drug, Yeah, it's like drug addicts and whatnot. So all the money you lost and what you could have managed and how you could have managed it better hits you hard, and you keep waiting for the payday, and it's something that keeps you stagnated. If I lost that, I still have a paycheck to wait for, because I'll definitely win against the house next time and whatnot. But Ivan Toney has shed light that a lot of people struggle with, and there's limited information, especially in my African community, on financial management from a tender age. People are not taught how to manage their funds, or especially also guys who are fortunate enough to be in a farm, come from backgrounds of financial stability. They also think it will always be there, but when you get that your hand on your personal wages, your salary, you actually don't know how to manage that properly because it hasn't been taught. It's a tradition that hasn't been taught in the African homes. That is why you get many youths out here. We don't know how. I'll have to categorize myself and the others because I'm not better off. But yeah, we keep something keeps you going to think maybe I'll do better next time. But the impulsive compulsive thing gets in the way. Moreover, yeah, too tough when you grow in even the poor backgrounds also. So you're trying to get something that will take you off that situation quick enough. But this, as they usually say, Rome wasn't built in one night, right? It wasn't built in one day. Or so over time, if you're trying to build wealth, not just riches, you have to take time. It has to be day by day, step by step. As Mikel usually says, trust the process. So yeah, it has taken too much responsibilities for him to realize that he was really on the wrong. That is Ivan Toney, as we get back to him. So taking full responsibility of the action is definitely something that is great, especially when you're battling such addictions and and you're conscious enough to admit that I'm not doing the right thing. Managing money better, yeah. Don't follow the crowd. That is something else. Being influenced by your peers to do this and that, and it definitely gives you that edge that if they put it and they get it, and I'm not among the ones who did that, I'll be the one they'll be laughing on whatnot. But yeah, don't follow the crowd. Have your own mindset. Expect punishment, and definitely for Ivan Toney, he has gotten his ban. He'll be back to footballing career. He isn't that perturbed, but usually when something pauses your normal life for a bit, you usually have a lot to think about, and you usually need some good mental space and people surrounding you, some positivity to realize you did wrong, and you still have time because you still have the breath in your body. So you're gonna definitely not recount those mistakes, but turn on a new leaf. So definitely right now he can't train at the club. He'll be training soon, but the fines, the whatnot, surely he has undergone some realization. He's still 28. I think he's turning 28 or he's 28, and surely there's something that we learn from this, and is that even our country, the country I mean, Kenya, there surely should be financial management taught to youngins from tender age, not just giving them cartoons to watch all day, play outside and whatnot. Because at the end of it all, everyone wants to better their community, wants to better themselves individually. And these things, our system of education doesn't usually, it is limited to a certain things. So even the top scoring students usually still are not to concentrating on certain matters. They still fail on certain matters like this, which is quite detrimental. But yeah, especially with these status, these big wages, they had to shed light and give him as an example. They gave him as an example to other players who You can't tell me Ivan Toney is the only player in the Premier League that had some gambling issues. Over 20 clubs in the English league, over 40, 50 clubs. There are definitely some players struggling with the same thing, but because he's in the top flight, and he'll definitely be feeling, nah, this thing is happening everywhere and whatnot. But surely he has gotten the help that he deserves and deservedly needs, and he'll still get on with his career, and he'll be a good member to shed light to the youngins and tell them how to be better on their financials and also rules and whatnot. So yeah, to that point, I think Ivan Toney is definitely a great player. He just revealed that he's a Liverpool fan, but he was an Arsenal fan when he was young, and who definitely wouldn't want Ivan Toney in their side. He scores rightly so in the FPL. I actually miss him in my FPL team. He usually gives some good points. He's a 20 goals per season scorer, and an English international who will definitely be playing more when he's back and at it. So up to that point, you guys, thank you for tuning in to Let's Scroll, and I'll see you on the next one. Boys and girls out there, be well and concentrate on your books, blood. Yeah. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. So up to that point, let's wait for the Arsenal game, and we'll have some match reactions later in the Monday Night Football. Come on, you Gunners, and I'll see you on the next one.